our target member Mark tackled a really interesting song, and so I got just a couple quick comments on it. Run of the Mill from George Harrison's hard to find collector's album called Beware of Abco, which is all these acoustic songs that George put together as demos for Phil Spector to hear, so that Phil could be familiar with the songs he was going to that Phil was going to improve or mangle on All Things Must Pass. Anyway, save that for a different day. And so Mark was working on trying to figure out the chords really just by ear. Mark, you just about nailed this thing. And so I just want to tell you, keep up the good work. I do have just one main suggestion, and that is this song and a lot of George's from that time, actually a lot of George's songs, had some unusual time signature changes where you might be mostly in 4 and all of a sudden there's a measure of 3, or there might be a measure that has 5 in it or something like that. And so go back and listen to the original and really map out every measure and know which ones have 3 beats in them, which ones have 4 in them, and when it changes. So I'm not even going to tell you, I'm not going to get too more specific about this, because there are spots in there where you're either putting in an extra beat or taking out an extra beat, or leaving out a beat. And so go back, listen very carefully to the original, and sit there with a piece of paper and mark your chords. Okay, I know this is a G. By the way, so you're right about this. I don't want to give too much of it away, but because I want you to your ear did a great job figuring this out. You're right. Capable with the 6th fret, using chords in a G shape, and that's the way it works. But and then as far as the little runs and everything goes, they're all sounding, you've just about got it nailed. So just listen carefully and break everything down to the right number of beats, and then look for those notes. A couple of hints on stuff like when George puts songs like this together, he's not usually doing anything really hard to find. So you'll hear him play chords in things like All Things Must Pass that are unusual but relatively easy to finger. So don't be looking for stuff like some, weird old pyrotechnic thing. Not that that demonstrates anything very useful. But when you're trying to figure stuff out by ear, usually figure that the person playing this was not trying to make it as difficult as possible. They were playing something that was pretty easy for them to stumble into, and that's a lot of what you'll find, especially on these songs on Beware of Abco, where you do get to hear the guitar much more than in All Things Must Pass. Anyway, that's it. Just count out the measures the beats in each measure very carefully, and keep up the good work. Just lighten up a little bit in it too. I think you already saw those comments, but it seems like you're holding the pick a little tight, and it's really easy to do that in front of the camera. But keep working on those tunes. I'd like to see you put everything up from that album. There's a lot of really neat tunes. So that's it for now.